think when they read, Callie? Good readers think when they read. So what you're going to see me do is when I'm holding the book in my hands up here for you to see, when I'm holding up here, I'm going to be reading the book. Sometimes I'm going to put the book flat on my lap, and that's when I'm going to be thinking in my head. Okay? So if I'm holding it, I'm reading, and if it's flat, I'm thinking. 5 miles off the coast of Maine, and slightly overdue, a circus ship was steaming south in fog as thick as stew. So I'm thinking that the fog is going to make it hard to see. Have you ever been out when it's foggy, it's hard to see? So the boat might have a hard time steering. On board were 15 animals who traveled to and fro. The next day, it was Boston for another circus show. So I'm seeing all of these animals on this boat because they are traveling to go to different towns to be in a circus. You can't take animals in a car. Could you put a giraffe in a car and drive it? No. So they have to go on this crazy. And an elephant is too big. Yeah, the elephant is way too big for a car. The captain, Mr. Carrington, was honest and sincere. He thought that they should drop the hook and wait for things to clear. Looks like this is a picture of Mr. Carrington. So drop the hook. It sounds like the captain thinks it's too foggy to keep going on the boat, so he wants to put the anchor down and stay for the night. But let's find out who this man is. But Mr. Payne, the circus boss, was terribly demanding. He stomped up to the helm, up to where Captain Carrington was standing, and screamed, "Don't stop, keep going, I've got a show to do. Just get me down to Boston town tomorrow, sir, by 2. So the author is giving me some hints. This character, he stomped, his face is red, he's yelling. How do you think he might feel? What do you think? How might this character feel, this man?
Angry?
Angry. Look at how angry he is. Maybe he's angry because the boat is slow, because it's so foggy. Let's read more and find out. Then crash! An awful bash! Things flew into the air. The ship had smashed into a ledge that no one knew was there. Can you see under here?
Oh, yeah.
What did they crash into?
Rocks.
Rocks. Ledge is another word for rocks. So it was so foggy that they couldn't see where they were going, and crash! They went into that rock and everything flew up into the air.
And him.
And him, yep. There's the boss, there's an ostrich, there's a cheetah, a giraffe.
And
alligators, all those animals.
And alligator doesn't have to worry.
Well, you're right, the alligator might not have to worry, but what about the other animals? We'll have to see if they can swim.
They're worried.
The shattered ship began to tip and sank without a sound. Then splashing, thrashing animals swam round and round and round. So this page is going to make me ask some questions, because we know good readers ask questions. So I wonder, are they far from shore? Are they going to have to swim a really long time?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
And can all of these animals swim? You were right that an alligator could maybe swim pretty easily. But what about this zebra? And what about this giraffe? How are they going to be able to swim? Are they going to get rescued? Let's read more and find out.
Yes, they are.
You think? You're making a prediction. You're making a guess what's going to happen. Let's see if another boat comes to rescue them. Or maybe an airplane.
Or a jet.
A jet could be. The captain said to Mr. Payne, there's that captain, that man who is angry. Pray tell, what shall we do? We can't just leave them here to drown. We've got to save them too. The animals? Yelled Mr. Payne. Why, sir, what are you, daft? Daft means, are you silly? Are you crazy? He's saying. It's me that you should rescue. Pull me up into the raft. Now ferry me to safety, sir, before I die of cold. Don't question me, barked Mr. Payne. Just do as you are told. So there's that captain who was the one who said, we shouldn't go any further. It's too foggy. And there's that angry circus boss who said, no, let's keep going. Sounds like they should have listened to his advice. And he wants to go and save all the animals, and he says, forget them. Get me into the boat instead. Through chilly water all night long, the animals swam on until they reached an island beach just before the dawn. They pulled themselves up on the shore, bedraggled, cold, and beat, then staggered to the village on weary, wobbly feet. Take a look. How do you think these animals are feeling?
Wet.
Tired.
Well, they are wet. They're
Sad.
feeling tired. They might be feeling sad. They might be feeling exhausted, which is another word for yeah, because like, has you ever seen a dog who's played a lot and they pant and their tongue hangs out? Yes, so maybe your dog lets its tongue out when it's really tired. They're also tired from swimming all night. The people, remember they reached an island. The people in the neighborhood had just begun to rise. And when they saw those animals, they had to rub their eyes. Imagine if you just woke up out of bed and you looked out your window and you saw that. What? You'd be like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
They thought they saw an elephant, but wait, how could that be? And what's that little monkey doing in the cherry tree? Soon the animals were everywhere and into everything. There's an ostrich in the outhouse. There's a hippo in the spring. There's a tiger in the tulips. There's a lion on the lawn. There's a python in the pantry. It went on and on and on. A python, another word for a snake.
Yeah.
Which I know Callie doesn't like snakes very much, right, Cal?
I love
Mm.
I love tigers, cheetahs, lions, and
Well, we'll see some pictures of tigers and cheetahs later. Mr. Hood was stacking wood and nearly jumped a mile when he found the alligator sleeping on his pile. And Mrs. Dottie Daly, who grew daisies by the bunch, discovered that the zebra had been eating them for lunch. I'm going to make a connection. I know you guys have read Mercy Watson, right?
Yeah, she ate now.
This part's just like when Mercy Watson ate the flowers and Eugenia and Baby Lincoln were not so happy.
Well,
Yeah, Luke.
it's Eugenia rhyming.
It is definitely a rhyming
Eugenia
book.
was
Your,
in
listen,
the
your ears are
canyon.
really listening. And Mrs. Fanny Feely found, according to the rumors, a silly little circus monkey swinging in her bloomers. Bloomers is an old word for underwear. Look at that monkey swinging in her underwear on the clothesline. But everything changed quickly, like the turning of the tide. The night the Abbot's shed caught fire with Emma Rose inside. Look. There's a tiger up on the hill and he sees a fire down below. From high below the Abbott's farm, the tiger saw the shed. The sight of the smoke and fire triggered something in his head. He jumped through flames 1,000 times back in his circus days, so he ran past all the people and leapt into the blaze. Let's make a prediction. A prediction's a guess. What do you think the tiger is going to do?
Jump
through
the
think?
fire.
Rescue her? That's a good guess. What
Jump
do you
through
think?
the fire. Take out the fire?
Take out the fire. Let's read
Jump
more
the
and
fire.
see, because that's what we
Rescue.
do with predictions. We see if we are right. Everybody panicked. Help, help! What can we do? When from the raging fire, something big burst into view. It was the most amazing sight, and everybody froze when they saw the tiger saving Emma Rose. How is Emma Rose feeling on the top of the tiger? Does she look scared?
No,
She doesn't look
happy.
scared. She looks happy. Look at me! The tiger saved me. The tiger's risky rescue changed everybody's mind. The animals weren't bothersome. The animals were kind. I know you guys know that word kind because KR is kind. So they lived together side by side. They got along. It didn't seem like anything could possibly go wrong. So with the words and the pictures here, the author is telling me that the town people don't mind that the animals are there. They're having fun with them. Look, the kids are using the elephant like a water slide. They're riding the camel. The bear is dragging them in a wagon.
The tiger's like the
Seems like everybody's getting along.
They're using the tiger as a pillow.
You're using the tiger as a pillow. We sometimes use our dog as a pillow. Then Little Red, the messenger, came running with the word. Apparently, a circus ship had sunk from what he'd heard. The animals are from the boat. They swam in from the bay. The greedy owner wants them back. He'll be here any day. Remember that angry circus boss? This boy is saying, he's coming back, he's coming back. So make a guess. If he's coming, what do you think the town people might do? Any ideas? What do you think, Giancarlo?
I think hide.
Maybe they'll hide him? What do you think?
Maybe they'll yell at him.
Maybe. We'll have to see. Let's read more.
I know.
What do you think?
Disguise.
Disguise. It's kind of like a fancy word for what Giancarlo's saying. Hide them. So the people called a meeting. They quickly hatched a plan. No animal that came ashore would sail off with that man. So, you're right. Sounds like they're going to hide him or disguise him because no animal is going to go back with that angry circus boss. The next day, at the crack of dawn, a ship was at the pier, and up the lane marched Mr. Payne, whose voice was loud and clear. I am the circus owner. My ship sank in the murk. I've come to find my animals and put them back to work.
No.
I think so.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, this is my favorite page.
What?
I'll read it, and then I want you to look really carefully at the picture. He hiked until he came into the center of the town. His face was red. He scratched his head. He stood there with a frown. Mr. Payne looked high and low, but still he couldn't see the 15 circus animals of his menagerie. So the author's telling you that there's 15 animals hidden in the town.
Oh, I can see one.
I'm gonna
I can see all of them.
Really
I can see all of them.
Okay, Juliana, come point out one.
I see.
Tell me what you see, Juliana.
There's the elephant.
Juliana found an elephant that looks just like a rock.
I know.
What did you find? Come show us. You found this man. That's not really a man. That's a gorilla. All right, we found two. James, come find one for me.
Oh.
Is that a person riding a bike? No, it's a bear. Charlotte, come on up and find one for me. We found three. That's not a flagpole. That's a giraffe.
I know.
Maisie, come find one. Oh my gosh, that's not a tree, that's an ostrich. Grace, come find one. Oh, this is a really, really tricky one. Look at that laundry on the line.
Oh.
A tiger is camouflaged.
I know.
Callie, since it's your birthday, would you like to come find the last one that will... And then I'll point them all out. I know you found some other ones. What'd you find? Oh my gosh. Those aren't lumps of sand, that's a camel. I know you guys are right. I'll know we're ready when you're sitting back down. I'll show them all to you. One. And I know some of you guys already found them. 1, 2. Look, she's not wearing a scarf. She's wearing a python. 3, 4, 5. That's not a baby in the carriage. It's a monkey. 6. Look at that hippo. 7, 8. Let's see. 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh my gosh, I need 3 more. 13. We got the tiger. We got the giraffe.
But not the elephant.
Oh, we didn't get the elephant?
No,
14.
No, you did.
Well, you know,
Someone said the elephant.
how about when we do cupcakes, I'll come around and let you find them all. Did you find the last one? We're looking for 15. It's a pretty tricky picture, huh?
Oh, I know. I know. There. Don't tell anyone. Oh, no. Don't tell anyone. I know where it is. I know. It's,
You don't see it?
I can't see you. I can't see you.
I'll let you see it later.
Oh, guys.
All right. We'll find them all later. We found, I think, 14.
Yeah.
What?
No.
What, James? Last chance. Last chance.
No, 14.
No, I don't think a seagull's a circus animal. Tricky.
I know where it is.
All right. So remember, Mr. Payne's looking for him, and just like you guys, he can't find them all.
I want to talk.
He ran around the alleyways. He searched the village square. He even checked a chicken coop. His animals weren't there. Then Mr. Payne was tuckered out. Look at his face. He's red, sweating. His heavy heart was heaving. Then Little Red stepped up and said, I think your boat is leaving. Let's make another prediction.